Hi everybody, I'm Mahin, and this is your Tuesday technique for the daily Bellydance Quickies. Today we're going to do a couple of tips on shimmies. Now when you're first learning to shimmy, one of the most common shimmies people learn is the Egyptian knee shimmy. And so this is the one where here you're going to start with nice soft knees, feet weighted evenly, pelvis in neutral, ribs lifted up and out of the hips, and you can keep your arms wherever is comfortable for you. And when you first learn this, what you learn is you learn to alternate your knees right here. And so you go at a moderate pace so that you can get that little kind of seesaw, tick-tock kind of action in your hips here. Now, when you're doing this, and as you take it up faster, one of the things that can happen for some people is they kind of stall out in their shimmy, and their knees lose the pattern with the speed. Now, in order to remedy that, well, that's a matter of neural training, and that's something that just comes with lots of repetition, because this is not a natural movement, this fast back and forth with the knees. It's not something we do in our everyday life. So it's something that we have to train our body to do quickly. So exercise I have covered before for this is to get down on the floor and to put your feet out in front of you and to lean back. I want you to lean back so that you can open up these hip flexors. You can come way back here, and here you're going to go ahead and take the knees back and forth like this. Okay? And that's a good practice just to get the nerves trained to go back and forth. So that's one thing. Okay, now when you're doing this and you're standing up here and you're taking your knees back and forth, another thing that I oftentimes see is people fight this action from the top. They squeeze their glutes, they're holding so tightly here that they get their knees going where they're not getting a lot of action in their hips. Now, I kind of liken this to revving the engine while the emergency brake is on. Your car's not going to go anywhere, but it's going to make a lot of racket. So if you want to get some good movement out of your shimmy, you could come down, hold this pelvis in a neutral position, lift up and out of it, but relax down here if you want a nice big shimmy. Now, of course, we're not talking about glute shimmies here, whole different story, so I'm not even talking about that part. We're talking about a nice, big, loose shimmy. So you can't fight it up here. You have to lift up, get the ribs out of the way, let the knees do the job, and then let this relax. Another thing to watch as you're doing your shimmy is, some people don't think about this, what's going on with your feet and what's going on with your calves. A lot of times when people are developing a lot of tension in their movement, two things happen. They start to grip the floor with their toes, and that develops a lot of tension in the calves, and some people will tell their calves cramp up on them. So if you're feeling like your calves are cramping up, relax your toes, even shift your weight further back towards your heels, and try lifting your toes up off the floor so your weight is more towards the back of your foot to kind of get you out of that faulty mechanic position. So then put them back down and keep that weight back there. You can have weight towards the front of your foot, but you just don't want to be grabbing onto the floor with your toes like that. Okay, one other thing. Some imagery works for a lot of people. Sometimes this knee front and back imagery is maybe not the best thing for them. Another thing you can think about is think about your inner thighs. You think about your inner thighs gliding like this, up and down. So here, like this. What's happening here is still your knees alternating with flexion and extension. But if it's easier for you to think about this movement here on the inner thigh, then that's great. Just remember pelvis in neutral, ribs up, and you can work from there. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. A couple of little tips to fine-tune your shimmy, and I hope that helps. If you like those tips, go ahead and leave me a little comment in the box down in the YouTube section, and I will see you next time. If you are not subscribed to all the days of the Daily Bellydance Quickies, take a look in the box down there and go to my webpage and check it out, and you can subscribe for free. I'll see you next time. Bye!